Dust motes danced in the dim light. Ilara coughed. The attic smelled old, like forgotten stories. She carefully navigated through the forgotten treasures of her grandmother's past. A faded tapestry here, a chipped porcelain doll there. Each object whispered of a life lived. Then she saw it. In the far corner, bathed in an ethereal glow from the single dusty window, stood a magnificent loom. It was unlike anything Ilara had ever seen before. Its frame seemed to be crafted from polished silver, yet it shimmered with an otherworldly light. The loom hummed with an energy that vibrated through Ilara's fingertips as she approached. It called to her, beckoning her closer.
She reached out a tentative hand, her fingers tracing the smooth, cool surface of the loom's ancient wood.
Ilara felt a strange pull. A sense of wonder, of fear, of excitement, all rolled into one. The loom was more than just an object. It was a mystery waiting to be unraveled. And Ilara, with the curiosity of youth, was ready to face it. The loom's mechanism was intricate. Ilara spent hours deciphering its secrets. She learned the rhythm of the treadles, the dance of the shuttle. The feel of the yarn, smooth and strong, captivated her. Her grandmother's journals, filled with cryptic notes and sketches, became her guide. Her first attempts were small, almost insignificant. A change in the color of a flower in her grandmother's garden, a slight shift in the wind's direction.
Ilara was filled with a childlike glee, the power exhilarating.
But she soon realized the consequences of her actions. The blue flower wilted unnaturally fast, its petals turning a sickly gray. The wind, no longer a gentle breeze, became a destructive gale, tearing through the garden. Fear replaced the initial excitement. Ilara understood the gravity of the loom's power. It was a power that could create but also destroy, a power she needed to control before it controlled her. Seeking answers, Ilara confided in her friend Theo. Theo, with his love for all things historical and mysterious, was instantly intrigued. He suggested they visit the town's oldest resident, the reclusive librarian, Mrs. Hawthorne. Mrs. Hawthorne's library smelled of old paper and forgotten magic. She listened intently as Ilara and Theo explained their findings. Her eyes, though clouded with age, held a spark of ancient wisdom.
The loom belongs to the weavers. They are the keepers of balance, the protectors of reality itself.
She revealed the existence of a hidden library beneath the town, a repository of the weaver's secrets.
It seems, Ilara, you are a weaver too.
Ilara felt a shiver run down her spine. She was a part of something bigger, something ancient, and she had a duty to fulfill. The hidden library was a treasure trove of knowledge. Ancient texts spoke of the loom, the weavers, and their sacred duty. Ilara and Theo learned how the weavers maintained the delicate balance of reality, mending the threads of time and fate. Their studies, however, revealed a terrifying truth. A rogue weaver was at work, disrupting the balance, creating a rift in reality. The evidence was everywhere. Unnatural storms, time distortions, and whispers of vanished memories.
The world is unraveling.
Ilara felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. The fate of reality, it seemed, rested on her untrained hands. She had to find the rogue weaver and stop them before the damage became irreversible. But how could she fight against someone who wielded the same power, someone who understood the loom's magic better than she did? Section 5, The Weaver's Path. The ancient text spoke of the Weaver's Code, a set of trials designed to test a weaver's skill and resolve. It was a perilous path, fraught with danger and uncertainty, but it was the only way to gain the knowledge and strength she needed to confront the rogue weaver.
With Theo by my side, we embarked on the trials.
Each test pushed Ilara to her limits. She faced illusions, battled phantom creatures woven from the fabric of reality itself. Her control over the loom grew with each challenge, her confidence solidifying.
Ilara, you're doing great. Just a bit more and we'll get through this.
Theo proved to be an invaluable companion. His quick wit and unwavering support were a constant source of strength. They deciphered ancient riddles, navigated treacherous landscapes, their bond deepening with each shared danger.
Through these trials, I discovered a strength within myself I never knew existed. It was the strength of my ancestors, the legacy of the weavers flowing through my veins. I was ready to face the rogue weaver.
Section 6, a family secret. The identity of the rogue weaver was a mystery that gnawed at Ilara. Who would possess such power and use it so recklessly? The answer when it came was a devastating blow.
The final trial led us back to my grandmother's attic, to the loom itself. There, amidst the swirling threads of magic, stood a figure shrouded in shadow.
As the figure turned, Ilara gasped. Ilara whispered, her voice filled with disbelief. Her aunt, her mother's sister, who had vanished years ago, was the one responsible for the unraveling world. But why? Iswan. Media. Woman looking confused. Woman calling out in surprise. Close-up of woman's shocked face. Aunt Clara.
The old ways were flawed. The loom's true potential was never explored.
Section 7. Threads of Betrayal. Clara revealed her plan. She believed that the weavers had become complacent, their adherence to balance stifling true progress. She aimed to rewrite reality, to create a world where suffering and hardship were non-existent.
I understand your intentions, Aunt Clara, but I can't condone your methods.
Clara's actions were driven by good intentions, but they were causing more harm than good.
There will always be darkness. It's what gives light its meaning.
The rift between them, aunt and niece, weaver and weaver, widened. The air crackled with tension. Clara, consumed by her vision, saw no other path. Ilara, bound by the weaver's oath, had no choice but to confront her. Their destinies, woven together by blood and fate, were about to collide. Section 8, the ultimate sacrifice. The battle was inevitable.
Aunt and niece, their looms humming with opposing energies, clashed in a whirlwind of light and colour.
Threads of reality were woven and unwoven, the very fabric of existence hanging in the balance.
Ilara fought with the strength and skill she had gained, but Clara was a formidable opponent. Years of unchecked power had warped her, her vision clouded by obsession.
Realization dawned on Ilara. There was only one way to stop Clara, to repair the rift, to restore balance. It would come at a terrible price, a sacrifice that tore at her heart, but it had to be done.
With a heavy heart, Ilara wove a final pattern, a tapestry of selflessness and love.
A blinding light filled the attic, the loom humming its final mournful song. Clara, stripped of her power, collapsed to her knees, her eyes filled with regret. Section 9, balance restored. Silence descended upon the attic. The loom, its magic spent, stood still.
Ilara lay on the floor, her body weak, her life force fading.
The world around her shimmered, the distortion slowly fading, the fabric of reality mending itself. Theo rushed to her side, his face etched with worry. He held her hand, his touch grounding her to the world she was leaving behind.
You did it, Ilara, he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. You saved us all.
Clara watched in horror, the weight of her actions crushing her. She had been blinded by her ambition, her good intentions paving the road to destruction. She had lost everything, her power, her family, herself.
With her last breath, Ilara whispered, "Balance, Clara. It's about harmony, not control." Her eyes fluttered closed, her hand going limp in Theo's grasp.
The world mourned the loss of a weaver, a hero born from the ashes of chaos. Section 10. The Legend of Ilara. The story of Ilara, the young weaver who sacrificed herself to save reality, became legend. Her name, whispered with reverence, was passed down through generations of weavers. She was a reminder of the responsibility that came with wielding such power.
Theo, his heart heavy with grief, took up the mantle. He dedicated his life to preserving Ilara's memory, ensuring her sacrifice would never be forgotten. He rebuilt the hidden library, turning it into a sanctuary for future generations of weavers.
He chronicled Ilara's journey, her courage and her unwavering belief in the balance. His writings served as a guide, a reminder that even the smallest thread can unravel the world, and the greatest sacrifices are often made in the pursuit of harmony. Section 11, a legacy woven in time. The loom remained in the attic, silent but ever present. It stood as a symbol of the delicate balance that held the world together, a testament to the sacrifices made to protect it. The attic, once a place of forgotten memories, was now a sacred space. Generations of weavers came to pay homage to Ilara, drawing strength and inspiration from her story. They learned to wield the loom with respect, understanding the weight of their responsibility. Ilara's sacrifice had not been in vain. She had restored balance to the world, but more importantly, she had ensured its preservation. The legacy she left behind was not just about power, but about compassion, understanding, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. It was a legacy woven in the very fabric of time itself.